So, Coach, as you build your program, how big of a milestone did you just enjoy the last weekend, winning an outdoor championship for the first time?
I would like to think it was a pretty big milestone. Coming off the indoor championship that had never been done for a program as young as we are and trying to find our identity as we move forward. I think that was a major plug in the right direction we want to kind of see ourselves going into.
What were you most pleased with? I know you had some expectations as you guys did some things. Anything that kind of put you over the top in your mind?
I just think the effort. We had a quality effort from both the men and the women, and I think it really showed up at the end of the meet. I mean, we had some very, very fine performances throughout the meet, but for our women to battle through some of the things they had to battle through to be able to finish third, and knowing we had to have the 4x4, and to watch them have a gutsy race at the end and put us in position to be in the top three was special. And then just the men, you can just go anywhere in the results and just kind of pick something. Obviously Goodness winning the long and the triple jump, us doing a sweep in the hurdles, and very fine performances in the 100 between Rashid and Jaleel, Vincent in the throws, across the board, and even Kareem in the distance events. So we literally covered the board about as good as you can cover in a meet. I think there were only 3 events we didn't score in, and there are not a lot of teams in the country that score in everything, so we're very, very fortunate to have the type of success we had, and then to be able to win 10 events was a big plus for us, and we put up some pretty good marks nationally as well.
It's a win 10. I mean, you have athletes that have been performing consistently throughout the year, but when the lights are brightest at the conference meet, how satisfying as a coach to have them come through, and continue that through such a big meet on such a big stage?
Well, I mean, obviously you work very hard in the fall. It's a long season for us because we do indoor and outdoor track, so the year gets really long, and we still got 2 more meets, the national championship meets. So for them to see the hard work paying off truly when it counts is a big deal, because it's hot days here in Florida. We go to Chicago, we go to a lot of different places, so see a lot of different things. But for it to pay off in that way in this new AAC was a big deal.
Winning the indoor championship, does that ramp up the pressure? Does that put a bullseye on your back? Pun intended, I guess, to win an outdoor championship too.
Right. Not really, because you get into this business to try to be successful. So there's no bullseye if that's what you're already shooting for anyway. So our focus here is to try to be a team that can compete for titles in the AAC, and we want to have a national presence. So for us, it's just about going out and doing your job. That's our expectation.
Obviously, as a head coach, recruiting has to be key for you, but just explain your philosophy, your approach to recruiting to this program, because you've got guys that have other Power 5 offers that are now choosing to either stay in state or choosing to sign with you. So what's your approach to that? We
just want to find the right people who fit what we do. We want people who have options. We don't want to be the person that nobody else is looking at. So for us, we're going to do it our way. We're trying to build a culture and a tradition here that people understand we're going to do certain things, and we certainly hope that people want to be a part of it. And if they do, we think you can be successful at extremely high level here.
And then when the rankings come out, you guys are probably in the top 10 again. It's the only non-Power 5 conference. Just explain how far this program has come to be in the area that it is now.
Well, it comes back to commitment. And then the first commitment was from Michael Kelly and giving me an opportunity to come here and trying to put the resources behind this program to help us really do it at a level we think we can. We've got very good administrative leadership across the board. Jody does a fantastic job of really trying to work to put our sport in a position to be successful. We've got a great athletic training staff, great strength and conditioning staff. So we've got a lot of people working behind the scenes to get things done. And you only have this type of success if you have that. I can go out and do a lot of recruiting, and the kids can work really hard, but you have to have certain things, and they're trying their best to put us in a position to be successful long term.
Coach, obviously Rashid's gotten a lot of attention for the 100, but here he triples in the conference meet, including the relay. You've got 2 big meets coming up, as you mentioned. Just how big of a national presence can he be with his skill set and all these 3 events moving forward?
I mean, I think he can have a lot of success, but I think we have quite a few other young men that can have a lot of success. I think we're just starting to scratch the surface with a few people. In the room, we've got a young man who won the long and the triple jump and some very, very outstanding marks, quite honestly, in the long jump. Goodness won the long jump into a headwind. And to come back and then win the triple jump in the fashion he did. Markel going out winning the hurdle, so he's now the indoor and outdoor short hurdle champion, and was able to have success in the 400 hurdles as well. So I think Rashid will do well, but Rashid has a lot of good teammates that'll make it really, really fun for him and them as well.
Goodness, how did you come across him in recruiting, and what makes him so good at, again, doubling in the jumps?
He just fell into my lap. Goodness had some success. He was a guy that we thought with the right resources, and obviously we're here in Florida, and he transferred from a school in Tennessee, and Tennessee's a great place, but if you've lived in Tennessee and Kentucky or Ohio in that part of the country from December to March can be very, very interesting. And so I think him being able to come out and train year-round, you're starting to just kind of see where he can go. He works hard at it. He's got a great coach, Coach Henry, who I think is very patient, has a very good understanding of the jumps. And if you look at what Coach Henry has done the last 3 or 4 years, he's consistently had very, very good jumpers. Last year, our women's team was ranked as high as #1 in event squad rankings. And now you have Goodness as a person who is one of the top jumpers in our school's history and one of the top jumpers in the country.
What makes him good? What is, obviously physical skills, but what about him has allowed him to peak like this?
He has a decent work ethic. He works hard. I think he's a student. I think he has a good relationship with Coach Henry, and I think you have to have that if you're going to have success at this level. Talent only takes you so far, but you've got to be able to be disciplined, and you've got to be able to listen. And I think he does a good job of listening to his coach, and they work well together.
Sweeping the indoor and outdoor season, how much of a feeling of just validation does that give you that this program is just headed in the right direction, but it's almost there, it is there?
Well, I think it just a certain sense of validation because you've now done it. The kids made a joke saying smile after we won the championship, and I did smile a lot inside. But this is something we want to do on a consistent basis. It's not just a flash in the pan. And I told these young men and young women before the meet, I said, you guys are truly the ones that are going to change this program for a long time. And a lot of people will come after them and stand on the shoulders of what they've done. And so this is a great time to be at the University of South Florida. We're just hitting our stride, and these young men and young ladies are starting to reap the benefits of their hard work. And for the people who came before them, same thing. Because we've had some good ones here. Matthew O'Neal was as good as they get. I watched Matthew O'Neal at the NCAA championships and just went, wow. And remember calling a friend of mine who happened to work here at the time and was like, man, that dude is for real. So we've had some really good athletes, but now we've just been able to put more of them together at one time.
Your 4x1 on the men's side, obviously great success through all season. How would you characterize that group and why they work together so well?
Well, very unique situation because there are about 7 or 8 of those guys that can run on that relay, and we've mixed it up a lot of different ways. The only person we haven't put on there is Goodness, and he's asked, but we're not putting him on there. But those guys, they believe in themselves, and they have been tested. We've gone to pin relays, won it. We competed well at Mount Sac relays. We didn't win it, but we were there. And we just made a couple mistakes, and when our guys just wasn't 100%, and that happens. But we learned from it. We won Florida relays. So every major relay meet, we've either won it or been in the top half or one of the top collegiate teams there. So again, that's our expectation. We're going to have relays here at the University of South Florida. And I didn't realize it. You're in the meet, and a lot of things are going on, but we ran 38:44, which is, I believe, the 9th fastest time run by any university in the history of the 4x1. And so to give you an idea of the type of rare air that group is in, you're talking about LSU, multi-time national champion, Florida State, Auburn, Florida, Texas Tech. I mean, those are some stout programs that have been around for a long time. And for that group to run that well in that environment, just to gives you an idea of what they're capable of. And we certainly want to continue improving upon that.
The 4x1, sometimes it's a great fan favorite event, and sometimes it decides the meet. What's your philosophy with just getting guys on the same page, getting them to work together, and finding the right space for them to thrive?
So in the 4x4? 4x4. Oh, 4x1. Okay. Well, the 4x1, that just kind of gets things going. For us, first event on the finals day, and that's the good warm-up. We realize we want to have a great start, but we want to have an even better finish, meaning the 4x4. And I think our young people now understand that. That is what we're going to do. And if you've got good relays, that means you have 4 people who can usually do other events at a high level as well. And so, again, breaking down the 4x1 in and of itself with the guys who ran it, our leadoff was Zaquan Lincoln, who was a finalist in the 100 meters. Our second leg was Jaleel Crow, who was finished second in the 100, and can't remember, was it third in the 200. Third leg was Chavoy Reed, and Chavoy was second in the 200 and top 4 in the 400, and then anchor was Rashid, and he won the 100 and 200. So that when you have a group of people like that can run at a high level, you see the results across the board.
When you look at what you guys did this weekend, if you continue to improve these and score these points, I mean, barring something unexpected, you will be a factor at nationals, it would seem. So are you ahead of pace for this program? If you guys can at this point in the program be a factor in the nationals, is that what you expected, or are you ahead of your pace?
We're going to take every meet, every event, every step one at a time. We're going to, first of all, you got to get to the national championship, and the NCAA first round that will be held in Lexington will be as tough a meet as you're going to find. And so we tried to put ourselves in environments where we had to see that already. So we need to go take care of business at the first round, and then you have an opportunity to put points on the board at the national championship, and we can do it. We just had a young man win a national championship last year. So the beautiful thing about our sport is it doesn't care. Either you're good or you're not at that moment. And so we want to put ourselves in a position to be very good at that moment at the national championship.
So goodness, you had a lot to do with this title, when doubling in your jumps. What did it mean to you on the overall to have your team win the outdoors?
I feel I just contributed to whatever the points my team scores for the AAC, because I just scored 20 points and we won with like 217 points. So I feel I'm just contributing to the team to win the outdoor championships.
What about yourself? Did you feel like you did what you expected in each of the jumps? Did you meet your expectations?
For the long jump, I think I did pretty decent. But for the triple jump, I actually met my expectation. I mean, I was expecting more, but I'm satisfied with what I got on my triple jump.
Coach was just talking about, the sport doesn't care, and in each moment you have to perform. Like when you have a finite number, like a certain number of jumps, just to get good jumps, just what is that process like for you mentally? Preparing and saying okay, and then being calm enough to go handle business.
I mean, for the long jump, it's kind of like easy to correct your steps during the runway. But for triple jump, it's kind of technical, because any step you make wrong, your whole jump is is gonna be messed up. So you need to mentally prepare for your your phases for your triple jump, for you to be able to get a decent and accurate jump.
Your coach said there was no pressure felt to win the outdoor championship after winning the indoor, but walking into that meet knowing you guys were the indoor champs, was there kind of that expectation of we know what we can do and we need to go out and get it?
I mean, it's easy to get to the top, but it's hard to stay at the top. Or other schools are expecting us to do bad, or they're expecting us to do a very bad thing in the AAC, but we just came out there and did our thing and execute and play our own part, because I did play my own part in the long jump and the triple jump, and I trusted my teammates to do their own part in doing like scoring points for the team.
Being flanked by 2 trophies and having a hand in getting those, how does that feel for you?
I mean, I feel it's a blessing to me and also for my team also.
When you look at your overall team, you guys won 10 events, jumps, sprints, relays. What do you see for the future, the regionals and the nationals? Are you optimistic about USF doing some big things at those meets?
I mean, we have a team and also have like teammates that wants to be great and also wants to like, do good in a bigger stage. And we're heading to one of the most toughest competitions ever in our season, the regionals and also the nationals. So we just need to like stay motivated and do same thing we did at the AAC and also at the regionals, so we can be able to like make it to the nationals.
You have a very unique and appropriate first name. I don't know what is there a story behind that? It's just when you see a lot of it's and respectfully, I don't know if there's a story behind that or how did that come and what's how that people make kind of jokes about good and or with your coach say anything or what's that?
I mean, I really don't. It's probably my mom giving the name or my dad because it's just the kind of name we have in my family. Because my brother's name is Gift, my sister's name is Merit, then Treasure, then Prevail, then Benjamin. So it's just how my mom named everybody in my family.
Gifted is probably just the worst one in the family, right?
Well, my name, Good. I'm just trying to live up to my name, Goodness. So I need to be like, I mean, not everybody's gonna like you in life, but I'm just trying to be like good to everybody,
I guess if someone says your name, they're not gonna. There's only one, right?
Oh yeah, it's only one.
Somebody says goodness, it's you.
It's you, me. It's me.
Yeah.
And also, people always say, "Oh my goodness!" So I feel like they call my name every single day. Like I'm sure people call my name every single day, probably like more than 20 times every day, because everybody says, "Oh my goodness." So yeah.
You always turn?
Oh yeah, I do.
Goodness, Coach was talking about the headwind that you faced in the long jump. How, when you get out there and you kind of feel those conditions, does that affect anything? Does that affect your philosophy or your approach in that event? Just kind of take it through.
The headwind doesn't really, for me, I really don't if you're good, you're good. The headwind doesn't really matter because I actually wanted to because my PR going into the AAC was like 7.9. So when I did 7.5, my first jump, and my second jump was like 7.5 also, then the other team did like 7.5.9. So I wanted to make it go further, and I did 7.6.9 also. So I was trying to push it forward, make it the distance far, but I couldn't because of the headwind. But I'm just thankful that I won the jump though. But for the triple jump, there was no headwind. So some other school came close to me, and I was like, nah, I need to take this further, and I took it further, and did a PR also. So to me, the headwind doesn't really matter. If you're good, you're good.
We heard a little bit. We talked to Rashid after Penn Relays. He told us how you were down at UNF and you won the event, and he mentioned he gave you his other watch.
Oh yeah, he did.
Take us through that story a little bit. Did you ask for it? Is he just a nice guy giving it to you?
Oh yeah, I actually did ask because for I think the 4x2 when they won the 4x2 at Penn Relays, he showed me the watch, and I was like, oh nah, you need to get me my own watch in the 4x1. I said just go there and do your thing, and I was like, when you're running, just run for me, just so you're giving me the watch. So when I saw he run the 4x1, I was like, oh yeah, I need to get my watch back from Rashid.
That's great. That's great. How did you first find out your talent in the sport? Did you play any other sports growing up? When did you really first start getting into jumping? I
started jumping last year because I came here as a high jumper. I wasn't really that, I wasn't really that good. I came as a high jumper, but when I was back home, I was like, if I come here, I'm going to do other events, like other field events, not doing just the high jump. So my first meet, I did high jump, then I switched to, I did triple jump, then I did 15.5, my first jump. And I was like, nah, I think I'm good at this event. I should try doing the long jump also. I wasn't really good in the long jump. I did like 7-1, but I was like, nah, I need to like stay with the triple jump. So I kept on doing long and triple and high, long, triple and high. But for this outdoors AAC, I couldn't do the high jump. Even if I still didn't want to do it though, but I made a bargain with my coach that I just wanted to do the long jump and the triple jump. Because I feel if I do the long jump and the triple jump and not focus on like any other extra events, I'll do good in it. And I told him I'm going to win 10 points for both events. So me winning the long jump and the triple jump, I give it to my coach. That's for my coach.
Why USF? What was the dream Erik sold you to get you to come here?
He told me he's building a team. Like he's building a fast-growing team, and I wanted to be like part of the history of what's going to happen at USF. So that's why I was like, oh, let me just come and be part of the history that USF is going to make, and I'm here now and I'm part of it.
What brought you here, Markel, to USF? What attracted you to this program?
Mainly because it was in Florida, and I don't like cold weather. When Coach Jenkins came to my state meet when I was in high school, and he told me, like Goodness was saying, he was going to build a program. And he said it was a program where I can build a future. And here I am, I'm doing it. So it's like, I just want to come in somewhere where I can show my talent off and not just be like some other ordinary freshman. I just want to go somewhere and show people that I'm different.
What does it mean to you to be honored as the top freshman? How did you learn about it, and what did you feel like when you heard about it?
I take it into account, like, there's a lot of freshmen around, it just hit me different when winning the first time and then coming and then doing it the second time. But I got to thank my teammates, though, because Lord knows I wouldn't be here without them, because they pushed me to keep doing good and to keep doing my thing, so they the one that motivated me, even on down. So it's just behind the scenes, like my teammates and my coaches, they helped me be where I'm at right now.
You just heard Goodness say, Erik sold him on the dream of building a program, creating something, and being a part of it. I'm sure he said the same thing to you. Do you feel like you guys have been able to build something here, even in your short time here?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I knew we was gonna build something from the time we all came here the first day. We all had practice on the first day, and seeing the team, seeing how large the team was, and the amount of talent we had, I said, we're gonna do something. We got to do something with the amount of talent we had on the team.
What is the process during, especially like the 110 hurdles of, okay, don't hit a hurdle, we'll keep like your vision of where the competition is and have your own steps down between, like how do you balance all those things in, a dozen seconds?
I think it mostly comes from practice, like the amount of training we do, Coach Dean, the amount of practice we do, it's just like, it's like a muscle memory. He makes it where we understand it, where we go in it, and that's just, going in the meet is the easy part. Practice is, we practice it so much. It's like, practice is like the hard part where you get to understand, it's like the learning part of it. And the meet part, you just go out there and do what you do in practice.
So the way your team is ranked, you're certainly recognized in the nation. Have you noticed other people taking that notice, other teams and people, they know who USF track is now? Yeah,
most definitely. I got a lot of people that hit me up like, oh dang, USF doing anything, or when USF started to do this, I think a lot of people starting to notice us, especially from our social media platform, seeing how it's getting out there. A lot of people starting to notice us, and I think that's great. If they notice it, that means we're doing something good.
You mentioned Coach Dean a little bit. Take us through his coaching style. What about him makes him a successful coach? What do you enjoy about learning from him? So talk about Coach Dean a little bit.
Coach Dean is he's different. He wants to see your success, but he wants you to work for it though. He ain't gonna go soft. Practices, because then you'll never know what type of practice you might have. Might be a hard one, might be an easy one. But he wants you to learn your position, whatever you do. Because he don't just work with hurdlers, he do sprints. So he want with us hurdlers and Pacific. He makes it sure in practice we get everything we need down packed. And if we don't got it down pat, we're gonna do it again. So it's like he makes sure we got it down packed and make sure we learning as we go. He asks us questions, make sure we know exactly what we're doing, not just doing it. He just makes sure we got everything we need to do down pat.
What attracted you to the hurdles?
My grandma did it, and she was the one that inspired me to do it. It was around my sophomore year of high school. I did track, but I was mainly in football. But I did track, and I was looking like it was COVID. I was like, man, I need to do an event that's gonna work for me. So I'm looking at all the events. I'm like, I seen one of my friends do hurdles. I was like, I'm gonna try hurdles. And then ever since then, it's like I told my head coach I want to do hurdles, and then I just took off.
Your grandmother was a high school hurdler?
Oh, she did high school. She did hurdles in high school and college.
Where'd she go? High school and college?
Oh, she went to Bama.
To Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay. What's her name?
Arlene Burton.
Okay. Does she help?
Yeah, I mean, she the reason why I started this. Like, she kept saying, like, I did track, but I did, like, the 100 and all that. But she was like, oh, you should try hurdles. You got long legs. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then she was like, I'm telling you, you should try it. She was like, just try it. If you don't like it, don't enjoy it. And then I tried it, told my head coach in high school I wanted to try it. And he was like, okay. And I did it one time, jumped over hurdle. I was ready for the next day of practice. And then I was ready to do hurdles again. It's like, I just fell in love with it.
Do you think some people are a little afraid at times of the hurdles? I mean, do you need to have a certain amount of courage to have the confidence to do it?
Most definitely. Because from high school, like transition from high school waist from 39 to 42, the height difference is not easy as it seems. Like, I watch pros and all that. It may look easy, but it's not easy as it seems. But I just feel like you just keep working at it, you'll get it.
This team obviously has a lot of good talent, iron sharpens iron. But I've noticed there's a lot of good personalities on the team as well. A lot of people who maintain positivity, even on the hard days. How does that, help in those long practices and this long season, just having a lot of positive people, good personalities around the team?
I think that really impacts our team. We have countless amount of people on this team that help motivate you. Even around the 4x4, where it's the last event of the day, you tired, your body hurt, but you got your teammates. I call them my brothers. I don't call them my teammates, but I call them my brothers because we build a bond. We suffer together. We run hard together. We do hard practices together. So I feel like just having them around, knowing that they're gonna put their all at the table, and I feel like it's only right for me to put my all at the table, because if they suffering in a meet, I know it's like I'm gonna come pick them up. And I know if I'm suffering out of meet or going through something, they're gonna come pick me up. It's just the bond we have. And we build that. We don't build that just at meets. We build it at the beginning of the season. Or we tired in the down back pushes, or we motivate each other like, oh, come on, bro, one more. And then it's just like we just gonna keep pushing each other, even though we all like going through it. We just gonna keep going.
I got one more for you. You mentioned that 4x400 there. You guys were trailing a little bit for most of that, and then Bowie kind of picked it up right there at the end. We got a really good crowd shot of all you guys up in the stands celebrating. The men's championship was kind of already won at that point, points-wise, but still, I feel like that was a pretty important exclamation point on the day. Still make that title. Just talk to us about that moment, from your perspective, and the feeling of, watching Bowie lean across that finish line right at that end and take that win.
It was very fun to me because normally I'm not in the stand, normally I'm out there. But just to see how everybody it wasn't about we know we won the meet, but winning the 4x4 is something we big on. We want to win that because that put the cherry on the top of the cake. So it's and seeing the boys running, and then it's it looked fun, just the boys out there doing what they love. And then Bowie, he ran hard, I ain't gonna lie. But I ain't just gonna give credit to Bowie, though. I want to give credit to all of them because Shamari really don't run it. And when I seen Shamari on, I'm like, okay, we better see how this go. And it was fun to watch him. It was fun to watch him run and my teammates to run. And like Archer, he ran hard. Even though he had to play catch up, he ran hard to go. And then Trey Bowie leaning at the end. It was fun because we seen Charlotte, where we was in the stand, Charlotte Lilly right next to us. So they talking because they was in first. So they talking, but we seeing our teammate. And I seen him on the last 100. I knew he was coming. And I know that we all got like that fight in us where if it come down to the wire, I got USF over anybody. So I know he was gonna come down here doing anything, and he did.
You went to Lake Mary,
Yes, I did.
your whole high school career?
Mm-hmm.
And you grew up in Sanford?
Yeah, I grew up in South Florida.
So Sanford is, they've had a few track athletes there over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you kind of grow up in an environment where you were surrounded by a lot of athletes and you got pushed?
Yes and no, because mainly in Sanford, Sanford's like big on football. Normally everybody in Sanford do football. That's what I got it from. But me and my brothers, we did track. They the one that inspired me to do track, because I wasn't really big on track. I was big on football. But it's like running with my brothers, like running with my actual blood brothers. It was different. So then it was like I wanted to do track, and track actually took over because I feel like I was accomplished more in track than football. But I actually love football more. So it was like a difference.
Did you play football your whole high school?
I did.
What position?
I played wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
Mm-hmm.
And didn't want to play in college? Or?
It was like, I thought about it. I said, if people still ask me like, oh, you don't want to play football? Why you don't want to do both? Sadly, I love football, but I gave football up in high school because I came to chase my track dreams. I feel like track is like, I don't know, track overtook football. It's like even when I watch my track videos, my heart just go to toom, toom, and I'm not even running. So it's like, I just know track is like something different in me, and it's like, I just got track in my blood.
A lot of times the track guys want to come out for football, they can't catch, but you can, right?
Yeah,
Got hands?
I do.